Okay, what's up guys, this is EB and I'm going to do a quick video about my favorite topic, which is aliens, and I'm going to do it quick, and I don't think I'll come back to this topic ever again, because I think that at the end of the day systems are set in place so that certain things remain the same, and I've noticed this, and I wanted to say that one of the challenges that guys are having with this alien topic and UFOs and NHI is so complex and ingrained into systems that it's why most of the guys nowadays are having a really hard time in trying to find out whether this topic is true or false. And the purpose of this video is just to tell you where the complication lies between the UFO topic and the audience out there. I'm talking about the general Tom, Dick and Harry. So I'll start off with why the topic is very complicated. Number two, at the end of the day, what difference would it make to you and me if it's real or not? And number three, just some of the drama that is happening, and what is and why guys are losing focus on the whole thing. Now I'll tell you for a fact, you guys, I think I've said this before, I followed this topic for many years, and from around 1993 there, before the internet, before algorithms, before bias even was a thing, before goals, before psyops in online, there was not even internet at that time. And what had happened was that books, just simple books with records of stuff that happened, events. And what I've realized is that the reason why this topic is so complicated in this modern day, one of course is that there are all that stuff that I've just mentioned. There's a lot of muddying of the water, but that's not why I'm talking. Why I'm talking now is because the thing is, the practical nature of the alien topic is very complicated. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying. And I was thinking about this just today morning. You see, with everything else that we know, all we need is evidence to prove that something works. Let me give you a good example. So let's say let's say imagine me myself. Let's imagine I was taken by aliens. We went to they abduct me, they take me to Alpha Centauri, they give me booze, I have an orgy there, and they drop me back home on Tuesday. Here's the thing, if I went and told that story to somebody else, it'll be completely anecdotal, meaning that you just be my word against whoever. There'll be no evidence or truth. And that's what usually happens with this many of these cases. Anecdotal. The experiences, you're not going there with a book. You're not working with a notebook. Anyway, back then, now you have your phone. But I'm coming to that. What's happening is that whatever you do to prove, because many people say, no, there's no evidence. We don't have the evidence. There is evidence. But the problem is the evidence is not something that a guy on the street will just take it like for granted. Like we'll say, okay, that's true, by the way, that makes sense. It's not that easy. I'll explain why in the next point. But yeah, so step one, if a tree fell in the forest and you didn't see it, did it fall? So if I didn't see you being abducted and you said you're abducted, it's basically like I didn't see it, so basically it's not true. What does that mean? That means that every person on this planet could have been abducted. If nobody saw it, then nobody can say that it didn't happen. Okay? What I'm saying is that if something happened to you today and it was real and nobody saw it, then you'll start even questioning yourself. So what does that mean? That means that the aliens themselves who do it know that if you talk, you'll be talking to people who won't believe you, because it'll be so far-fetched. Number two, the people hiding the truth know that you have no evidence, so you'll also sound like a quack. So that's the first problem we have. How do you prove that what has happened is real? So the second step is evidence. So now we've moved on from just people doubting your words, because most guys are lies and they want maybe looking for truth or something. Let's bypass that. Let's gather evidence. Let's imagine Alex goes to be abducted by whatever alien race, and the guy manages, like the way Neil deGrasse Tyson says, no, steal a object from the table. Okay, you steal a Zandorian, Arnold probe, then you come back with it to the office, and then you say, okay, I'll take this evidence to the CIA or FBI, whoever, and then say, this is evidence of alien probe. Okay, so finally we have evidence of aliens existing. How? We have a project, we have a tool. Fine. Now here's where the problem comes, and this works against humanity. How do you prove that this is a Zandorian Arnold probe? Who has the documentation I know what that is. 100% Zandorian Arnold. There's nobody who has that data. All they can say is, well, it looks aluminium-ish, and then it has a scoop thing like an ice cream scoop. We'll all put it in perspective to what we know. You get? So it wouldn't matter if you took an Zandorian Arnold probe or whatever, a communicator, it wouldn't matter, because still we have no way to test it to say that this is alien or this is not of Earth. Step one, we don't have just there. We wouldn't know what to base it off from. Number one. Number two, even if you said it was, let's say you say, okay, the chemical composition of this object is not found on this planet. That's fine. But here's the problem. It's not found on this planet does not equate to alien probe. Does not equate to alien. You see the problem, the way science works? Again, we are screwed in the ass. We are stuck. We don't know where to move from there. So we have anecdotal evidence. No, it's not enough, because we didn't see it. So we have no evidence. It's just your word against the event. Fine, you have evidence. It's not enough because we can't prove it was alien. Maybe it was just some guy in a high-tech place in China who made this ice cream scoop. You get the problem? We're getting worse and worse. No matter what you put on the table, it'll never be enough to quantify this phenomenon. Let's move on. Let's go into science. Let's say Brian Keating or Brian Cox sees an alien come on Earth, and the alien literally lands in front of them and puts a finger up the nose of somebody and does and then goes away. So you'd expect that Brian Keating the next day, or Brian Cox would say, or Neil deGrasse Tyson would say, oh, now we have evidence of alien whatever, what do you call it, alien existence. But guess what? One, it's not going to add any money in their grant, for their grants for studying the cosmos, their grants for studying particle physics or theoretical physics. It's not going to give them any grants. It's not going to give them any grants for studying black holes. So they'll come, put the finger up the nose, goes away. Then he'll be asked, do aliens exist? Brian Cox will go back and say, I believe there's one alien, race in the whole galaxy or per galaxy. Somebody else will say whatever. Point what I'm trying to say is this: they are scientists, but it would not be befitting into their nature to go out of their way to start selling that, aliens exist because I saw this. It won't benefit them. Maybe in a party somewhere in the middle of nowhere, he'll say, oh, by the way, on Tuesday of 1968 I saw an alien. But here's the thing, in the public, what will he say? As a scientist, he'll say, according to the data, there's not enough evidence. Now let's move on to the third thing. You see, like, even if we do it, and this is according, now we're using science now. We are basing this on science. We say, we're going to look for alien bacteria on a rock. The rock is in space. Fine. We bring back the rock, and this story actually happened. They bring back the rock has bacteria. It had. So what do? So you send a probe to see if the asteroid has signs of biosignatures. You pick it, yes, it does have biosignature. That literally has frozen bacteria or whatever in the sample. What is the next paper that comes out? The next paper says, oh, the biosamples from asteroid X were contaminated. So the proof is inconclusive. So you ask yourself, what is the point of sending that probe, that thing to the asteroid to sample? You get the problem here. You can't win. You cannot win in this topic. I'll give you the last one, and the last one is the worst one. Those guys who come and they have this thing where this bias is burnt into their brain, whereby you say, let's say their dad was massively intellectual, studied particle physics, whatever it was, highly reputable guy. And the guy says, you know what, son, I believe that aliens is garbage. It's garbage because there's no fine, there's no evidence, etc. Then you as the son or daughter, you look at your dad and you admire this guy. You have faith in this guy. You have so what do? You say, well, if that's what he says, then that one must be true. Years later, a guy like David Grush comes up and says, oh, there are these actual alien crash retrievals. What do you say? Never. It's not true. It's lies. It's hogwash. Why? Because deep in your mind that if you accepted the notion that David Grush might be right, that would mean that your father, the mother, the professor, your lecturer, the one that you admired was wrong. And you can't let that happen. So whatever evidence comes in your way, you block it off. David Grush comes and says, no, we have even biologics. No, you don't. It's lies. Lou Elizondo comes and says, oh, we have this. No, it's lies. We have Nazca mummies. Evidence is fake. We have the boogosphere, physical evidence, fake. Because the truth will never be enough to convince you out of the faith that you had for the person who told you that it's not true. Simple as that. Simple as that. It will always be a balloon. It will always be a firework. It will never be because if the second you accept certain things, that would mean that that person who you trusted and respected was wrong, which is impossible. So, moving on to the next thing, a quick one, is that the challenge, another challenge which I've seen in the modern days, is that guys are choosing goalposts. And this is something which I find very peculiar. You have this thing you're supposed to look for. The journey is ahead of you. But what do people do? They look in front of their nose, the tip of their nose. Constantly scratching the tip of their nose, not understanding that they are on their way, to Jamaica. You need to focus on the journey, not start scratching the tip of your nose, going after people like, Lou, going after people like, like here, the factions that were created here. At utter nonsense. Why? Because they are not focusing on the end goal. All this is semantics. What this guy says, he told you, I don't matter. Matter is disclosure. What do people do? No. You matter. Because you are a guide. But he keeps on saying, I am not the guide. The guide is the truth. Follow the truth. Follow the money. Everybody is doing exact opposite of what this guy gave up. Just the other day he did a meeting in Congress, and he had a picture of something. He showed it. The picture ended up being wrong or something. Here's the point. I don't give a shit. Let me tell you, even if this guy danced in his underwear in Congress, it would not change the fact of what truth that I know about the situation. It won't. You get what I'm saying? The idea is that people have this nature of following people and not their journey. They're focusing on the boots, but not the journey. They're focusing on the bag, they're focusing on the ground, they're focusing on the trees. No, focus on the journey, That's where the truth is. That's where the disclosure will come. Those are where the aliens are. That's where the truth is. Nobody wants to do that. Factions. No, Greer is saying this, he's a hog, he's a fake guy. No, this guy is saying this, no, he's a fake guy. And then what do people do? YouTube is there. Riding this topic. You see, like this guy, I don't know if I can believe him. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. It means nothing. Even if Lou walked naked, it would not change the fact that aliens exist. You're seeing the problem? People have to learn to understand, to focus on the journey, not on the nose, not on the boots, not on the perfume. No, I'll smell. No. Focus on the journey. This is where the truth is. Now this guy says this, they're getting good views, good for them, but it means nothing to me. To those people who, there's a saying which goes like this, and I said it on one of Lou's posts. Those who matter, those who know their shit, those who know the truth, there's a saying which goes, those who matter, they don't mind. And those who mind, like this one, they don't matter. Because in the broad spectrum of things, it changes nothing. Okay? So that's the second thing I wanted to say. I can talk about this for a long time. In my opinion, is he saying the truth? 100%. Not 100, a million. Is he an nutcase just to a grown-ass guy wake up from his chair and say, I'm going to ruin my life? It's not how things work. And I know about human behavior for long enough to know when somebody is in trouble for saying the truth. I'm not a fool. I was not born yesterday. This guy is suffering because of the truth that he's saying. Whether these people are sent or not, I don't give a shit. I don't care. All I know is that the focus should be on the aliens. And finally, all these guys, why would they be risking their time, wasting their money, talking about things that never happened? Think about it. These guys were, people don't realize that. It's coming back to the points I said earlier. There are certain things that no matter what, even if Trump came out to the public today or tomorrow and says, guys, aliens exist, who would believe him? Maximum 10%. The rest would, another percent, 1% would say it's a psyop. Another percent is saying he's trying to hide the Epstein issue. Another percent is going to say, he's lost his mind. Another person. What I'm trying to say is this topic, if you don't have your right shoes on, you'll be heading in the wrong direction very fast. Very, very fast, very quickly. So be careful. Point of this video is be very careful how you follow, how you talk, how you learn about where you getting your truth from, who's talking out of let me tell you how bad it is. Me, I've looked at this situation now for 20 years minimum. I can even tell you for a fact, I can tell you, now this one, be careful with this one. This one, be curious what they're saying. This one, follow them. This one, let me tell you why. because it's not the first time that this has happened. There's one podcast I like, it's called Psychoactivo. He says he brought a guy on. He said that they wanted to do disclosure in 1960s. Okay, that's over 50 years ago. Where are we? We are still talking about skiffs. Then Anna Paulina talks about skiff flu. It's okay. I've no problem. She can't say anybody. She's cute and hot. She's a pretty lady. She can say anything she wants about the topic. Skiff flu, this, that. Have fun, enjoy. It will not change my point of view on what the goal needs to be. And neither should her. Should she lose her focus. Should follow the truth. And at the end of the day, I believe that I won't talk about this anymore on this channel, because I know I'll get like one view. But at the end of the day, that is why this problem is so big. That is why this problem has been continuing for the last couple of years, and will continue to be a problem for hopefully another 100 to 200 years. In my opinion, may think that unless the aliens, so that's the problem. So I've said now to end this video with a positive aspect. Unless these aliens that we are hidden from show themselves. No, people think that they don't show themselves. They do. They do. But all those ways that they know they can't show themselves to the whole world at once. Or they've tried and it's been hidden. Point is this. Whatever methods that will help rectify the truth about aliens, in my opinion, can only come from the aliens themselves. Hii kitu ya kufuata binadamu, this thing of following humans is a waste of time, because we are just so focused on money. We are so focused on petty things that we're not looking at the big idea. Like the other day I saw a video of a guy talking about how he's using alien tech to sell to the US government to create prototypes for war in case somebody attacks the US. I'm like, dude, how thick can you be? You're gifted alien spacecrafts, at the very least, to learn the tech so as to give you the chance to enable every human being on earth to have to basically improve our lives, to make resources equal, so we don't have to fight in the first place, because there are no borders in space. The borders are all in our mind. So we are given these ships. You are told, share this resource to everybody. Do it so that everybody benefits. And what's the first thing we do? We take this alien spacecraft and we use it, we profit out of it, and we use it for war. The exact opposite of what the aliens gave it to us for. You're basically kicking the alien squarely in the nuts. Square. Conversion straight in the nuts, in the testicles. I don't know what will happen to you guys who do that stuff. It's very horrible. It's horrible because even thinking about it is just spooky. Anyway, so the solution is that the only person who can rectify this thing is the aliens themselves, and only the aliens themselves can rectify that, all the problems, all the doubt, all the confusion about their existence. Once they do that, the rest will fall into place. Oh, that would mean that this and this was true. Most probably. Most probably. That means Lou Alexander was true. Most probably. That means that Stephen Greer was true. Most probably. Long story short, they come and they themselves, they will be the ones who will decide fate of humanity. Because as the way I can see it, hatuwezi. On that note, guys, I will not make this video longer than it has to. As I said, this is my only video on this topic I'll put on this channel. I will never talk about it again. Reason is because one, nobody likes this topic. Two, I'm mostly an art guy, so guys who might not watch this video. And number three, it's a bit awkward. So I hope that you guys have an awesome day, and I will catch you in the next video. Be safe. If you want to subscribe, please do. But yeah, take care and have a good one. Bye bye.